Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fury of Dracula. This is the Immortal update, the Immortal Invitational tournament. I'm joined by Pizza Wizard in the booth as well. Let us know in the chat how the balance is. This is my first time using Windows 11 with this. Might be too loud, I don't know. It's blasting my ears. So, we'll see. Let's see. Get the chat open on my phone.
Yeah, we have Blazoned on Hunters, WcKaczek on Dracula today. Looks like we're going with a somewhat standard start, except John Stewart and Godalming in Munich instead of Vienna. Somewhat interesting. I've been seeing more people doing that lately.
Yeah, this is like a modified superhero. This is a Worm Talon start. That's what he used to do. And Alteris, I think, did this too. I would just start right around Mina, but go ahead.
Did you see it a lot in like the Nubla tournament? Was this something that they did a lot there?
No.
No.
But some people did. I was the one to do the Pizza Wizard start where I put Seward on 8.
Well, I certainly am a fan of that. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I do think you're right. I think Mina's pretty weak. Although moving them both to Munich means they can get to Spain faster. So maybe that's compensating a little bit for having Mina in Spain by moving the two of them a little bit closer. Jonathan Harker's here. Yeah, but I mean both these teams have a lot to play for, I think, because they're both on the lower end, unfortunately. I think Wildlife's in 5th place, High Lords of Low Waters is in 6th, so they both have a lot to play for here. I think I want WcKaczek to win, but
alright.
Best to look to him too. Fangs of Fire.
Fangs of Fire is fresh off a win of Scott Sword. Helping you out. Yeah, he helped you out.
Oh, that's amazing. I need to high-five him for that. That's awesome.
I think you're like one game apart, I think. So
yeah, it's very close in the top between Els Granger's Dell and Pirate Wizard, so I'm very excited to see anyone take down Scott Sword's team. Mina's got a knife. That's pretty cool. Like to see knives on Mina.
Yep. My chat, I can't even open it, so I don't know what's going on. I tried opening it on my phone, it's not working.
I can see it, and it says that Captain Gyro is saying sounds good.
Oh, good. That's great. Let me
see it here.
Let me see if I can find it. If I can like get another way into the YouTube stream. I just got a message from a War of the Ring person. They told me to stop playing Fury of Dracula, come play my league matches in War of the Ring.
This is more important game. You know, this is the skill game here. Hired Scouts.
Where's it gonna search? Would you search Ireland as 1? Just do either Galway, and then check 55. People have been.
I haven't seen an Ireland start in a while, but maybe other people have been doing. I think maybe I don't see it because John Stewart on 8 makes Ireland pretty bad. But
Verna and Galatz.
Verna and Galatz.
Galatz is popular. Ooh. Bats, you think?
I think you'd take a vampire, but not seeing a fog there is rough, especially with the fog buff. Because I guess really not the fog buff, the forewarned nerf.
Yeah.
I think I'm always looking for a fog. Not seeing one. I mean, I think I take the vampire there. Yeah, vampire's pretty good.
Yeah, the forewarned as intended.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm in my YouTube. It's working. Go ahead, sir.
Awesome. Glad to hear that. Oh, well, I think maybe I do undervalue bats because I keep getting got by them. I keep searching them at night and then having my Mina thrown into, like, double vampire. So maybe I'm underestimating the power of bats, but just vampires seem so good.
Yeah, because bats really destroys your search amount early game.
Right. Mm-hmm. If you send one person to try to deal with a trail, like, a delay thing hurts. A bat is horrible, right? Because it moves you and then it delays you, so you're wasting essentially like maybe 2.5 actions if you have a way to move more than one space reliably. It's a lot.
That's Scott Sword in the chat. There's the misdirect, which makes sense as you have Jonathan Harker in play, so you don't want that to flip early.
Keep the Ireland start alive. Make sure the newspaper's not going to hit you today. Misdirect is common practice for a reason.
Yeah.
Although some people have been doing it because they want the lair at the beginning, which I think is kind of interesting. Like I know Spencer didn't misdirect it against me, and made it a lair.
Usually, usually WcKaczek does the lair strategy, so it's kind of a surprise to see him misdirect.
I feel like it's a trap to try to expect. WcKaczek, I feel like, is a fairly.
Ooh, it's in UK.
Wow. Okay. First encounter in Swansea, then. So maybe plan to go to 19 and leave from there.
I should have chatted, but I can't help it.
I think the sentiment is fairly ubiquitous.
Yep.
People understand. It's pretty it's not exactly what you want to see. It means Van Helsing is going to be able to keep whatever. He's probably going to keep a stake, right? I mean, he probably wouldn't throw one away, but now no chance of throwing away a stake.
Yeah, and it's in Liverpool right now.
Because there's no hide, we would have seen it, and there's only one spacing move from Swansea. I do think it's interesting the first encounters in Swansea. I suppose Van Helsing can really get anywhere in England with one move because of the railway. So
yep.
Swansea isn't like crazy closer because any ticket except for a white one, or except any ticket, most of the tickets would be able to get him anywhere. So it makes sense that you don't prioritize being further away, especially if you want to go to 19 for some reason.
Now, how long do you supply up with your other people?
It really depends on how long Dracula stays in England, I think. Because if he's threatening to like loop or something in England, you kind of have to put pressure. If he let's say he goes to sea in 3 or 4 days or something, and then Van Helsing safely deals with this encounter, maybe you can just get to coastal cities, or maybe not coastal, you move to Paris, you move to maybe 16 Cologne. You get close enough to block off the Wolfram locations, and then you just keep supplying, depending on obviously how long he stays at sea. But I wouldn't just rush people in England right now. You definitely need to supply for some amount of time, and then kind of reacts to what he does.
Yeah, I would consider moving Godalming to, if you have a 3 ticket or 2 ticket, get to 7 and 16, and then continue to supply there, and then start moving Mina up maybe to 8 to your starting location.
Look, man, this is why I think 8 is better than 34. Because 34 is great; it locks down Spain. But if they start anywhere but Spain, and you're an 8, you're essentially saving yourself 1 movement action to get from 34 to 8. Obviously, you could also go to Paris. You could go to 42 with a better rail ticket. But I really like 8. I think that people don't start in Spain as much as you are going to think they're going to. And then if they do anything but Spain, it's saving you an action. But I do think that there is now that he's been found, there's less intensity to supply events. I think before he's been found, I want to get every single supply I can to increase the chance of drawing that newspaper. Now that you kind of know he's in England, I think doing some of those early moves is a lot more viable, because if you don't get the event, if you get an information event 1 day later, it's probably going to be okay, because you already know where he is.
Yep. He could be hiding, could be in Manchester. I go to Manchester and just F around. I don't think he's got his CG locked and loaded yet.
Is he trying to kill Van Helsing? Is he trying to protect? I think the only reason you would hide in 32 is if you were trying to protect something. If you wanted to, I don't know, there's a vampire, there's a hoax, there's something important that you wanted to protect there, and maybe hope that Van Helsing will use a stake on 52 or Swansea, and then not have the ability to deal with 32. Maybe there's a hoax in 52, and if he tries to stake it, he'll lose his stake and then have to deal with the fighter vampire afterward. Although looking at his hand, he only had we saw his hand actually. I believe it was day 1 or day 2? We saw his hand.
Yeah, we saw he had a bats, don't forget.
He had a bats, but he did also have a vampire. He had a noob, so he could have played a fighter vampire on 32 or 35. It's possible. Or a bats. Bats, I think, is pretty scary for Van Helsing here.
Has Mina drawn any events yet? I haven't really looked.
No, she's been getting. I think she might have got the hired scouts or something, but nothing she can keep.
Oh, he's rumoring it, so maybe his vampire is 32.
And that would.
Or he could bluff.
Hide there. Yeah, or to bluff it, make Van Helsing move. Maybe there's a bats there. He wants Van Helsing to rush onto there just to get batted to something.
Into him.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a hide. And he's in Manchester now. We'll see when Van Helsing moves, or if he just stays still for a while.
I feel like he's got to go after Swansea, because if that's a hoax, it's real bad. You feel pretty bad if you let the hoax mature when you found it so early, and then you were 1 space away. Or do you just think it's garbage and you don't care? I feel like you got to go after it. The opportunity cost.
Ooh, Heavenly Host in a discard. Wow.
Yes, that was a big discard from Godalming. He must have a good hand. Although thankfully he's with John Stewart, so we can give those cards away, so he's not kind of he can get rid of some of his good. I mean, I say get rid of, get them on someone else that he won't have to discard anymore. And he's starting to move like you suggested, a chartered carriage.
Maybe go into 27.
27 would make sense.
Yeah, I would go to 27 and then excellent weather over if he has it.
It appears you're thinking along very similar lines. Do you think you can go after him? Like, if you have excellent weather, do you just fire it off into 19? Like, do you just go?
Yep.
I mean, it's risky fighting him early. I mean, I guess the escape is bad. It's not as scary because he's on England, so he's not really going to get away from you in that way, but there's no Sister Agatha. I guess if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Jon Stewart, because he's the least likely to... He can recover fairly quickly, so he's not going to be, like, knocked out of the game if he loses 6 health or something.
There she goes to your start.
Well, arguably, I think, to be fair to the people who are all about this Madrid start, she did her job by starting in Madrid, right? She made sure Dracula would not start in Spain. Or she, at least made so that if he did, all the proximity events would get him, right? So maybe there is some argument to, there's prevention. You're just putting it in Spain so that he will not start in Spain. I can see that argument. I just think that the Spain start is not as popular as people want it to be. And I think that as long as you know that Spain is a weakness and you hired scouted enough, people won't start there because they know you'll hired scout it, and they will just not start in Spain because they think you'll check it.
Yep. Or you just don't draw. You just don't draw encounters.
True.
In my recent game with Scott Stewart, he started in Spain and learned his lesson.
Yeah, and I don't think being 8 is so bad, because you can get to any spot in Spain outside of 12 and 26 with a good rail ticket. Like, you can get anywhere in there except for those 2 spaces. So it's not like you're super far away by being in 8.
And that's why you just check them first with your hired scouts.
Yeah, exactly. I think if you look at a lot of my tournament games, if I ever get hired scouts, I'd like to check Granada and Cadiz first.
Yep.
Because I just want to make sure that if there's something going on in Spain, I can get there with Jon Stewart as fast as I can. Or I'll be able to get there in 1 turn. So if I find it last minute, I'll have time.
Yeah, it's only bet if you could draw both white ones with him and have no horse, then it's misery.
Yeah, right. It's possible, but you can't plan for every eventuality. You just gotta plan for the most likely, and it's most likely he's gonna have either a good horse, or at worst case, he'll be able to have a good ticket. Because there's a lot of white 3s. I think there's 8 of them or something. There's a lot, or maybe not 8. There's 4. There's a good amount of them in the ticket pool. You can normally have one if you're looking to keep one.
All right, let's figure his trail. Where did he hide? Did he hide in Edinburgh? Did he hide in 32?
I mean, he definitely hit somewhere, right?
He had to hide.
Spaces on the board, yeah.
Let's see if he has excellent weather.
I feel like it's either 32 or 19. Like, he hit in 32 protecting counter, or he hit on 19 because he had nowhere else to move and just wanted to stay in England 1 turn longer. And then if he did hide in 19, the excellent weather from Jon Stewart is a little bit more risky because he'll have 2 encounters to protect him.
Let's see what he gets for a... Nope, we don't know.
It is interesting, move Jon Stewart off of Godalming. Maybe Jon Stewart already had all the good... Godalming gave Jon Stewart all the good items, and now he doesn't need... They don't need to be together anymore, because Jon Stewart already has, top-tier items. Because Chartered Carriage is a very good card. Oh, he's going to Seed. I think that's kind of a good call.
He should be moving.
I think if you wanted to deal with all these encounters, it's going to need more than Van Helsing. If you wanted to do this all with Van Helsing, you had to move a while ago. Which I understand why you wouldn't, because you want to block 33, you want to make sure he can't go there, but there's no, assuming there's even 1 delay encounter somewhere in here, or it's a vampire that he can't immediately kill, Van Helsing doesn't have a great chance of dealing with all of these encounters by himself. It's possible, but a second person there would really help do it expediently.
Yep. Now, if I were Drac, you could wolf form to 33.
That uses your wolf form now. And then you have to go to sea without it.
We can go 33, then you can go 43.
Well, right, and then you have to go to sea, or you can feed or misdirect 33, go back to 33. But it feels like with Jon Stewart possibly landing next turn, you could try to stay in England, but I think that you want to save that wolf form. I guess the problem is if you're in 19, you either have to wolf form or you have to feed or leave or dark call. You're right. There's not a lot of options there. Because he doesn't... I guess he will have misdirect back. He could misdirect 35 theoretically, but that also seems really risky. Because, there could be a CG, and then you're just dead.
Ooh, a mob. He tanked it.
That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. Van Helsing being at 5 health is a lot weaker, right? He could move into a double encounter under a hide and die. and it would not be crazy. It would not have to be some crazy thing. It could be very like double vampire could kill him, a vampire and like a bodyguards could kill him. Like imagine going into a fight with a vampire with 3 health. That's pretty rough. That's not a great spot to be in. Although maybe he can be a little bit more confident there's no like hoax, because at least he saw his hand after this encounter, and he saw there was no hoax. So unless he drew a hoax and then played it, it's going to be later in the trail, and you'll have more time to deal with it if there is one.
There are 4 3 tickets and 4 2 tickets according to Scott Stewart. With the correction in the chat.
There we go. See, yeah.
Looks like he's
Yeah. Okay. Look,
he's mocking
I
you.
understand. Look, I don't know. Look,
Oh, he's
I
wolf forming.
understand one thing about tickets. There's 3 white ones. Those are the 3 ones I care about. The other ones, it's fine.
Wolf forming to London.
Look, I think you're in his head. I think you're WcKaczek and Strider there's a meeting of the minds happening here. Because if he had to move to 19.
This is
and
big.
If he's wolf forming from 19, he had to go to 33. Okay, wait, why is this big? We already knew that was Liverpool.
He hit it. Well, he hit in. But now I know there's not a hide.
Oh, that's true.
So he hit in 19 then. So John Stewart's about to enter some pain.
I mean, he could have hit in 35 theoretically. I think it's unlikely, but it's possible.
Pain brigade's coming.
Yeah. Maybe Van Helsing can go deal with the rumor token though, because there's no hide there. And with 5 HP, he could probably survive 1 encounter. I think 2 would be dangerous, but 1 probably fine.
Oh man! The dead horse.
It feels. I love that's a good sound effect. I feel like there must only be 1 white one if he was willing to roll it, and there was a white one in the pool. That feels real bad losing it. I think in my latest game I had a white one in the pool and I rolled it, and thankfully I rolled a 2 and it was fine. But that's pretty sad. Especially there's still 12 items in the deck. He's gonna have to. It's gonna be a minute before he gets the horse back. Although I guess Dracula might be at sea for a while after this. Maybe it'll be okay. I mean it's rough obviously, but
Yep. Hide.
Yeah, hit a nerve. Okay.
Let's see what it's hitting him with.
Nothing.
Nothing. Make him probably a bats. Bats and vampire. And then 35 is going to be some disaster. I think I just move Van Helsing in. Or do you supply and then heal tonight?
Does he have, if he has a stake, I think I just want to use the stake as soon as possible so that I can then supply and get a different item. Like if I'm planning to use it on this Liverpool. I think the only danger is Liverpool is bats, and then 35 is a vampire.
Well, then also Drac can walk right behind you and just go to 52.
True, if you don't ambush and then he searches at night, and then you can get a dusk fight with Van Helsing, that would be nice.
Ooh, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's safe. This is a safe play. You have John Stewart there now, so there's less pressure on Van Helsing to like deal with everything. He has some backup. Mina's moving to 29.
It's a threaten. Excellent weather.
It's true. Although, are you that scared of Mina? She goes last. If you excellent weather, I guess you would probably move John Stewart over there if you were planning to excellent weather. You'd move him first.
Right, because if you allow that to mature, that Liverpool, then you don't have to worry about that hide encounter anymore.
True, but you're also potentially losing a lot of points. Although, I feel like I've been seeing these rumor tokens used to bait people into going on to things like bats. WcKaczek actually did that to me in our game. He put a rumor token on Sophia, and it was a bats there, but because I saw the rumor token, I was like, it's a vampire. I have a stake. Mina's gonna be fine. She'll search it with a stake. Ended up batting Mina into, I believe, a fight with him and at least 1 encounter. So it was really rough. Scott Sword thinks he's gonna layer Swansea and move back to it.
Yep.
It would mean that he would have to, feed in 33? Because Van Helsing, unfortunately, did not move off. Maybe that was a reason to stay there and not move, so he can't do that.
Yep. Well, he could misdirect Manchester if he wants. Move there. And then 32 will come off the trail in time for him to move on that.
I feel like there's a lot of value in that encounter on Manchester, and moving right next to, like, they could theoretically, I mean, not theoretically, they could probably get both of them onto you if you go to Manchester, and I think it's pretty telegraphed, unless they think you misdirect and then move to Plymouth as a bait, and then they both move to 35, or John Stewart moves to 35 because he thinks that you're there.
Yep.
You're losing a lot. You're losing the encounter on there, you're losing the layer opportunity. Mina has a, what is Mina holding? Consecrated ground, you know, just to win an event, not really important, you know.
Oh my god! I didn't even... what an event to have. Too bad, but you know what? Heavenly Host is gone, so you don't have the full power.
Right, it wouldn't be an insta kill in Manchester if you moved there.
But it would be a forced move. You could force him onto a hunter.
Move. Yeah, it wouldn't be great, right? And I think it makes maybe this staying in England strategy a little bit worse. Although if he gets CG'd out of England, he can probably be on a C space. Like if Scott's said, like let's say Van Helsing moved and he goes on to Swansea and he gets CG'd, all he has to do is go to C, and then CG is gone, and then maybe he can't go around England anymore. But now he can play the rest of the game knowing CG is gone. There's a lot of power in the threat of it to make the Dracula move in such a way that it won't get him. I feel like sometimes you'll throw it out early, and if it's used a little bit too early,
Ireland's open.
It can be bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Granada's open. All the kill spots are open.
Unless like Remington.
Fangs of Fire has joined.
Yeah, that's what it looks like for me when I'm disconnecting and reconnecting. It'll say like, it won't say I've left, but it'll say I've joined again. Well, I just need to continue my streak of getting basic facts about the game wrong. Last time I was going on about, what was it? I said there was 4 evil presence or something, and it was only 2. Now I'm saying there's 8 of this 3-2 ticket. It's fine. We'll keep this going. It's awesome. Yeah.
Go to Plymouth. Go to Plymouth.
Go to Plymouth. You're not really that scared, I suppose, if you're in Plymouth, right? Because there's no rail connection between. Oh, there is. There's rail connection between.
If you have a 3 ticket.
Yeah, he could theoretically get those.
Oh, he moved on to Van Helsing.
And he gets to keep whatever encounter he layered there. He doesn't get to place a new one, but he gets to keep the one he put as a layer. So, still somewhat protected from the.
Ah, there it is. Do you like fun?
That's what he says every time he goes into combat. He's like, "I'm gonna wolf form next to you and move you into his bats. Do you want to have some fun?" He's likes to.
Is it a fog?
Does it need to be a fog?
I think Fangs of Fire is glitched.
He is continuously rejoining. We have to wait and see. Thankfully, it was happening during the Dracula phase, so you know it wasn't actually slowing down the game. But if there's no dawn actions happening here, this could be bad. I wonder what broke it. If it is a bug, nothing weird was happening. I guess he moved back into a layer that somebody was standing on. That doesn't happen too often, but there was no event cards in play.
Right. If you have a renewed vigor, can you excellent weather and then have a 3v1?
True, I didn't think about that with Mina, but yeah, moving her to 29 means that she could also get there very easily. I mean, it just requires the excellent weather. Yeah, I mean, WcKaczek's pointing out a good thing here. That is what happens to me sometimes when the area isn't the best, so I'll just be kind of like in limbo for a minute. Although the fact that no dawn actions happening right now is a little bit worrying, because it's waiting for players to finish on actions on my end. I don't know what it looks like for the stream.
Yep.
But I mean, Scotsford brings up a good point that, you know, by moving to here, he's kind of putting pressure on the hunters when they want to be just dealing with encounters, right? If John Stewart jumps on Dracula here, that rumor token will mature, 100%. Unless, obviously, Van Helsing moves and goes and deals with it, but then you're still getting your 1v1 as Dracula. So he's kind of like almost using himself to buy his rumor time. Or if they go after the rumor token, then Dracula's just stayed in England to turn longer, and he's now in Swansea, so we can kind of just keep following his old trail of encounters. He could theoretically layer 32 and move there if Van Helsing went and dealt with it.
That dawn encounter, by the way, it's important to note. It means he has one. Lucky find. Okay. See if he has a holy circle.
Oh, we're back in. That's good. Good to see.
Yep.
Discarding a stake. Interesting with the rumor token there. Maybe you're just more concerned about saving his life here than you are about dealing with the rumor token. He has 3 items. He only has 1 event after the lucky find. A lucky find discarded. Ooh, pistol, dogs, holy bullets, holy bullets. That is not a great other 4 items. So his 5th item might not have been incredible.
Maybe play a Heavenly Host.
I could see a Heavenly Host play here. It means that the fight ends and you don't die. Okay, dodge is also really acceptable. I kind of like the turn 1 dodge, because very few people are plotting these days, and it feels bad when you get mesmerized, sure, but a lot of people will, like, throw a Fangs out to try to get the Heavenly Host, or they'll throw a claws because they think you might punch. I kind of like dodge. I mean, you can't do it all the time, because then you'll get plotted against and it'll feel real bad, but...
H, 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 H. Oh, it'll do 2 damage to each. I
mean, yeah, I don't think Dracula's very happy with that trade. If it's nighttime and you're dealing 4 to the 2, that's still not great, but it's more acceptable. This is, I mean, obviously, as we've seen in this game, Hunters heal a lot faster than Dracula does. He does not want to be trading damage. I wonder, he probably didn't get the garlic with the lucky find, unless, I mean...
That was the only thing he could get? Yeah.
Right, like it was that or pistol, I think, were the 2 combat... If the garlic was what he picked, it was that or pistol. And I think maybe you do want garlic over pistol here, just because it's more defensive. It stops him from regaining health off of Fangs. That's pretty important. Does he escape? Yes. Okay.
That's pretty good for Van Helsing.
I think so. He did 2 damage to Dracula. Dracula did 2 damage to him. He didn't really reveal what he had outside of the garlic. He did lose a stake. We'll see how important that ends up being, whether John Stewart can deal with Liverpool or not, although Van Helsing probably wasn't going to run into it with 3 HP. That seems a little bit risky.
Does he have a 3 ticket?
Does he even want a 3 ticket? Would he rather just go to Liverpool, deal with it, and then move maybe Van Helsing back to 30? Maybe not 33. Ooh, that is risky, because 33 could be bad. It could... Like, whatever encounters there, with Van Helsing on 3 HP, like, a mob wouldn't be... I mean, he would probably live it, but... Or a bat, maybe? Or if there's a vampire there. I mean, there's a lot of risky things about moving him back to where Dracula has an encounter right now, but you can't really leave him there, because the night fight is going to be so much worse than that fight just was.
Oh, no Aggie. That's probably the hope.
Does Seward go to 52, or does Seward go to 32?
Go to 52.
You let the rumor mature? You think it's okay? It's only going to be a new vampire, right? Because we saw the his encounter hand. I think. So probably a new vampire. So 6 points. He doesn't get wolf form back, which is pretty huge. So maybe you do just let it go. It's 6 points. You move on to Van Helsing. You get a decent fight at night.
It could be an aristocratic vampire, though.
It's true. When did we see? I should look.
There was a new vampire. Yeah, and you don't know what the new encounter was. So I mean, it could be anything.
Oh, on Swansea, yeah, Swansea is a complete question mark. I agree. Whatever is on Liverpool, that's going to mature with the rumor token. I think it's probably that new vampire. It could be anything. He could have drawn anything when he got discarded. The new vampire. He could have drawn any other kind of vampire. Could have drawn an aristocratic or a reckless, but.
See what's going on in the chat here. See what Scott starts saying.
He's seeing the future and roasting me. About an equal measure.
Alright, let's see.
Called the Swansea move.
Yeah, does he have a chartered carriage? He uses chartered carriage already to get to here. He's got 2 events.
I mean, especially if he's been trying to maximize force economy, which, based on that white one, I mean, it looks like he probably has been trying to do it. He might not have great tickets, right? His tickets might be like a 2-1 and then a white one. And then what's he going to do today? Is he going to move to 32 and deal with... I guess then you probably stay with Liverpool if that's all you can do. But does he have a stake, right? Does he even want to go to Liverpool if he doesn't have a stake? We're going to find out. He's going to Liverpool.
Okay, he's taking care of it. Too bad.
I kind of like that. I don't like giving Dracula points. And I think the issue is, what are you going to do with Van Helsing? Because you can't leave him there. You have to move him. Do you move him to John Stewart? And then hope that... Okay, this is a new vampire.
Yeah, move him anyway.
I guess, are you just worried about the vampire killing him when he moves in?
It won't, because then he can just delay Stewart to join the combat.
True, and then they can probably kill it together. Depending, he has like garlic, so he can defend himself decently.
Punch. Nope.
Escape. That's fine.
Stewart has a stake. That's what that tells me.
Yeah, I mean, you know, killing a new vampire is really hard. It's really hard.
Yep, it's like killing Drac at 6 health, not easy.
Well, I mean, especially with Fangs that can regain health, the stakes are good on Reckless, obviously, but I think they're really good against these new vampires, unless you can, obviously, the new vampire, you can 2v1 them, which makes their health advantage worth a little bit less. But trying to kill a new vampire, you can't just heavenly host them to death. The holy bullets isn't just gonna kill them. There's a lot of problems there.
Ooh, guess wrong.
I respect that punch. Yeah, I respect the punch, though. I think you're really scared of the plotting here, and John Stewart can kind of take the damage. Unless, I mean, you don't want to take too much damage, but...
Yeah, it can take a lot of damage this combat. Now you can take up to 4 more, potentially.
He'll try to leave today, I assume. The question is, does Vampire have Mesmerize to make us do this song and dance again of punch versus dodge? No, but he dodged. Okay.
Alright, now Fangs is gone.
No, now Fangs is gone. It's true. If he had played Mesmerize, now we could just escape the next day, and it would be like he had escaped. Right? Like, let's say he Mesmerizes the dodge. Now we know both Mesmerizes are on, and he can just escape the next day. So kind of why I like dodge. It leaves you able to escape day 2 if they, like, Mesmerize you day 1.
There he goes. Not bad at all.
It took
Good.
2 damage.
Good combat for Seward.
It didn't really show anything. Didn't use anything.
It showed nothing, yeah.
This mystery about him.
Now, do you ticket him out? Do you put him to 43?
I could see putting him to 43 as just I don't want him to die. I'm going to put him where there's no encounter, so I know for sure he's safe. I could also see moving him to John Stewart now that the vampire's on 5 HP. They could probably kill it together, and with him having at least one defensive item, the vampire probably isn't going to kill Van Helsing. So I could see moving him to John Stewart just so that he can heal tonight and regain the extra HP. And also maybe bait Dracula into having them kill his rumor token vampire without actually staking it. Like, if they could kill it during a day fight, that would be pretty efficient. Because then they could both heal, and then they would immediately be... I mean, not at full strength. Okay. Does he even ambush here? Would delay John Stewart.
Yeah, I played...
important is delaying John Stewart.
Played Garlic on Van Helsing, you think, and then have Seward...
The issue with throwing the Garlic out is... WcKaczek is pretty smart. He might see that Blazend is afraid of Van Helsing dying, and then just ignore him. And then if he plays things like Garlic and Dodge, it's really not a 2v1 because he's not really doing anything.
Straight.
On the other hand, he attacks and then he gets killed. So, I mean, it's obviously a rock, paper, scissors going on. No.
Alright.
Let's go! Vamos!
Yep.
Vamonos! Scott's points out a good point. If they do take the day fight with him being delayed to join Van Helsing, if they don't kill it in that day fight, he then can't stake it at night because he'll be delayed. And Van Helsing probably doesn't have a stake because he discarded one. He could have 2, but it seems a little bit unlikely.
Yeah.
Possible, though. Maybe that's why he discarded ones, because he had 2. Kaczek is thinking about it.
Yeah, or he has a connection issue.
Oh, or he's having a connection issue. I think this is a really interesting choice here, because if you ambush, you have a chance to kill Van Helsing, but if the vampire dies in that fight, you feel pretty bad about it. If you don't ambush, then you make him have the stake, although you kind of think he has the stake. I think you're right that he has the stake based on the way he played that fight.
I'm thinking about the fight with Drac, where he just played Garlic.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he really has any fighting cards.
He could have not wanted to play his fighting cards because they leave him open. Like, if you play the knife and you get clawed or strength, it's pretty bad. He might have just been in the mindset of, I'm going to leave that fight as soon as possible and try to minimize damage. Whereas now, he could have had them and not wanted to play them. Here, he would have a big incentive to, because if they don't deal with this vampire during the day, if they do both fight during the day, then they'll have to try to kill it at night or let it mature, both of which are not great options.
Ooh, he didn't.
He was thinking. Did not ambush. I kind of... How likely is it that John Stewart actually has a stake? Because if he has a stake, you maybe just want the fight in order to deal some damage and, like, delay John Stewart. Because now, I suppose if he stakes, he's not going to be able to heal, but it'll be at 7. 7's not low. You probably don't want to move. Probably don't want to move Dracula into both of them. Like, you still get your layer encounter, sure, but the dawn fight versus two of them would be...
That's right, and you're not. It's not night, so you can't do bites or double or double claw damage.
He could heal off of Fangs, but with Van Helsing showing Garlic, and I mean, with 2 hunters, it's hard to do that. With one, you can kind of use them as a blood bag almost sometimes, and like gain a little bit of HP off of them. But 2, I think that's pretty tough.
Do you supply with her?
I think as hunters, I don't know what her hand is. She has knife, so she's well equipped. I think I'm scared that WcKaczek is going to stay in England for a long time, and maybe I move her into the English Channel just to try to incentivize him to leave. Although, what's he going to do tomorrow? Right? Does
go
Dracula
back to
just
London.
Go to sea tomorrow?
Yeah.
Go. Like, he can't go back to London, can he?
Misdirect. Oh, you're right. You can't.
So does he just have to go to sea? Because if he has to go to sea, maybe I don't want to move Mina.
That makes sense.
I think he is going to go to sea. I mean, maybe he'll feed because he wants the HP, but I don't think he's moving on to them, and I don't think he's gonna. I mean, he can't go back to 33. So, and if I think he's gonna leave, I don't think I want Mina at sea because I think I'm just gonna immediately want her to go back to the mainland. So I honestly kind of wish he was still at 8, so that she could be supplying to sea, so that she could just be supplying. And her supplying on 29 is also fine.
Not helpful.
That doesn't. Really, yeah, not very helpful here.
Yeah, I would consider letting that vampire mature.
I mean, if you have the stake on John Stewart, I think you probably use it. The issue with using it, like you pointed out, is that it does free up a lot of spaces for Dracula to move, but he was going to layer those anyway, right? He could have moved back onto him, even if the vampire doesn't go off. And by letting it mature, you do at least buy yourself time, because you don't have to deal with any of the other encounters. But 6 points is 6 points, right? That's nothing to sniff at. He did have the stake. Okay. Yeah.
I think Manchester is a bats.
That would make a lot of sense. It's centrally located. You can move people to either into Edinburgh, or you can move them away from you back into 33. Like, there's a lot of options with bats in Manchester. Okay, Mina's still ticking. They're probably trying to fix that horse, get that white one, so that when they get the horses back, they're not, you know... The Lucky Find did help them kind of churn through the deck, right?
Yep,
now there's only 5 cards in the deck, even though they haven't been supplying that much, so... Because obviously they've been having to deal with Dracula. Not saying, like, he should have been supplying more. What he's been doing is perfectly fine. But it just meant that the item bank's been a little bit stagnant, but the Lucky Find kind of helped get 5 cards deep, which is significant.
Let's see if he feeds. I think it makes sense to feed here. Maybe. But you're being really risky.
I don't know how risky it is, because I don't know if you want to move Van Helsing back onto him at 3H. I guess he's at 5 now, because he healed last night, didn't he?
Yeah, what if he has a forewarned?
I don't think the hunters want to deal with you. I think they want to deal with your trail.
I want to deal with Drac.
I don't know if they can. I mean, the issue, like, if you move John Stewart and Van Helsing there, right? You're gonna deal with whatever's in Swansea. Fine. You're gonna have to fight him. Fine. He's at 15 HP. You're not gonna kill him. You might deal some good damage to him. This is good. That is nice. You could theoretically heal both of them before you move in, or you could supply and move in. You could maybe even get Mina there if she has an excellent weather.
Yep.
The issue is really that, like, all these encounters that are going to mature, like, if these are wolves or other damaging encounters that could maybe, like, they survive the fight and then die to a wolf after the fact because it matures, that could be pretty bad. Or like a bodyguard, there's a lot of things, or if either of these is like a desecrated soil. We did see his hand, which I think at the time didn't have very many damaging cards. It was like bats, double vampire.
Supply first and then move.
Supplying and moving makes a lot of sense. Could get Godalming supplied and moved as well. Yeah, that's why we only have 2 cards left in the deck.
Let's see. Reckless Vamp.
I think that's what you want in this situation. It's gonna deal some damage. It might get you some points. It's not gonna get forewarned.
Yeah, you want to get it down to. You want to get Seward down to 3. That would be a goal I would have.
Yeah.
Yep.
3 would be incredible. I think that's maybe a little bit optimistic, but even if you could deal 2 damage and like fang him and get a point, I think you'd be pretty happy. I'm slightly worried about a Heavenly Host killing this vampire. I think I might play Fangs for the point, yes, but also to try to prevent the insta-kill first round of combat. Yeah? Okay, and you're happy with this. You kill him, you bite him for 2 points.
Hey,
or you bite him for
1
2
point.
damage, you get a
Yep.
point. 1 point. Yeah. That's okay. Like you said, you want more. You obviously always want more damage, but I think that's a fine outcome. You still get to bite or attack Van Helsing, and he's at 5.
Supply then move, or does he heal then move?
Well, 6 isn't that different from 5, realistically. It would have been better if he had Speed Telegraph, so he could have healed before John Seward moved if he wanted to heal. I'd probably just fly and move. If you even... Does, like, John Seward have, like, Heroic Leap? Because Heroic Leap would make a lot of sense here. You could send him in, and then Heroic Leap, although why would you Renewed Vigor? You don't need Renewed Vigor to do that. You could just do it without Renewed Vigor, I suppose.
Heroic Leap, he's at 5 HP, because he'd die.
Oh, John Seward, you're right. Yeah, he would have healed if he had Heroic Leap. Never mind, he doesn't have Heroic Leap. If he did it, he would have healed before he moved. He's supplied, so he doesn't have Heroic Leap. You're right.
Alright. Excellent
This
weather.
is why I have you. You're going to anchor me to reality.
It could be a 3v1 here.
Well, I mean, yes, excellent weather would be really... I think that's the true power of the Renewed Vigor here, is if it can mean Mina can join the fight. Because I think if Mina can join this fight, it's a lot better for the Hunters. Because they can probably deal, like, 8 damage to him or something. They could deal an impressive amount of damage, and probably not be too afraid of reprisal. I mean, they would take some damage, sure, but with 3 of them, if Dracula focuses one of them down, the other 2 can kind of be pounding into him the whole time.
Escape route?
He didn't supply before he moved, so maybe he wants to heal after this to gain 2 HP while he's in the same city with John Seward. That would make sense. The only reason I think you don't supply before you move, right?
Yeah. Fang again?
I would love to see a Fangs. Mesmerize is also fine. Yeah. Because now that Van Helsing's in the fight, if there's a Heavenly Host, you're less scared of it. If it kills the vampire, you're not losing this fight and the next fight, you're only losing this fight.
He could do up to 4 damage here. If he plays a plotting and then he dodges, this could be real bad.
Yeah. Strength. Garlic. Okay. The power of Garlic, the only item card, except for Holy Circle, that blocks a strength.
Yep. Dodge, you think?
Ooh,
I
I think he tries to leave. Oh, he's double. Oh wait, oh, he dodged it, right?
Yeah.
He dodged. I had the stream up and I saw the strength mob again, and I was like, oh, double strength. That's crazy. No,
Yeah.
It's a little bit stream delay.
All right. You escape here.
Now I almost feel like the problem is if you play Garlic and he plays Claws, you're still taking damage, and I don't think you care about the vampire taking 2 damage here.
No.
So maybe you just escape and just are okay with taking the 2, and you hope that's all there is. On the Dracula point of view, do you play Fangs if you think he's going to escape for the point, afraid that he might play the Garlic and then take 2 damage? I think you do. I think you're okay with this vampire taking 2 damage if it comes to that.
Yeah, I think this vampire is a punching bag.
He is very much the he's the receptionist. He's
Yeah.
just here to prepare them for Dracula. His well-being is not that important to Dracula himself.
That's right, he's a concierge. With that top hat.
Oh yeah.
Let's say Fangs.
Claws? I think Claws is also very reasonable.
Oh!
Ooh, is there a holy bullet? Come on. And it would kill him here even through Mesmerize. No. Okay. Well, it's a good read though. You read that he's gonna play Claws to get around the Garlic, and then you play the Rifle instead, knowing that now you'll take no damage.
And then now you dodge.
Oh yeah, because plotting doesn't matter. You can play Garlic. So now you're only gonna take maximum 2 damage, probably. Yeah, now you take 0. Even if you, yeah, now you take no damage. Awesome. Very well played by Van Helsing. Because now both the Claws are played. The only damaging thing he has left is Fangs and Strength. You play the Garlic and you're fine.
Yep.
Wow. He took no damage from this fight. Very well done.
Wow.
Fangs. The power of Garlic is, I mean, it is a deal damage, but it is very...
It's a vamp.
It's stonewalls.
It's good against a vampire. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, now we
there's only
can.
6 cards that deal damage. Yeah.
All of a sudden now, Van Helsing's going to be healthier than Seward in this fight. But you know his hand. We don't know that he has a 3rd card. We don't know it.
True. We've only seen Rifle and Garlic. Thanks for very happy with how that combat went in chat, as we can see.
Very arrogant. It's funny.
I try to save my trash talk for
Yeah,
after the game. Because
absolutely.
It's gonna look real bad if he loses this next combat.
Yeah, you don't want to rage.
You don't wanna keep yourself in that hungry mindset where
Yep.
you have
Now-
everything to play for.
What he could have done is he could have written back, "Do you like fun?"
Oh, do you like that? Would have been funny. That would have been good. Just there you go.
All right. Does he heal or does he get an item? He
I
can't
think
get an
the
item.
only-
He's got to
Yeah,
heal.
he's definitely gonna heal. If he was gonna supply, he should have done for you.
Or can he trade off somebody, some item? Does someone have a planned ambush or something? What does Seward have?
Right.
Or what does Godalming have?
Maybe trade items with John Stewart if you think that you can make a better combat hand by switching them around. But I think event's more likely if he's gonna trade. Maybe he wants an event off of Godalming. Scotsword has also brought up an interesting point about 33. If Mina's gonna excellent weather to get to them, she's gonna have to go through 33, which if that is the bats or some of the delaying encounter would mean that she's not gonna get there in time. Even with excellent weather or new vigor. Which would make that line of play kind of risky because you don't really want to. Okay, she's not doing it. She's just chilling.
And then go to sea?
Very interested here.
Or do you... I moved to 39.
I kind of like the move to 39 too. The only problem is everything that's going off in England right now. Do you need the third person in England to try to deal with all of these encounters? Because, you know, let's say Dracula moves to 32 next turn. Now that they're both not there, and it's a layer, and you can put 2 more encounters there. Maybe you need Mina to be closer so that you can threaten to like renewed vigor again.
No cards.
No cards. No Sister Agatha. Dracula's at 15. This is risky for the hunters. Dracula's at 15 HP. He could be a little bit aggressive here and like play some claws and know he's not gonna die. Although he does know there's a Garlic and a rifle in Van Helsing's hand at least. And Seward could have anything. He has 3 items.
Yeah, I'd play an HH.
I mean, 3 items that we don't know about, I mean. Oh no, wait. Did he he supplied before he moved in, so he could have anything. He has 4 items. He could have all sorts of stuff.
Check that combat hand. Yep, 4. Check the discard pile too while we're at it.
It's the power of the renewed vigor there. Even though it didn't let him get through Hunter on, it still let him supply with John Seward. Van Helsing got an extra heal. He got a little bit of extra supplies with Nina and Godalming before the combat to maybe get an Agatha or something. Obviously, they didn't pan out, but that's you got to play the odds, right? You can't. You're not everything's gonna always stick as hunters.
Yep.
Like if he had drawn Sister Agatha, we would have been. That's the best renewed vigor we've ever seen, right? It would have felt awesome. Strength into dodge. Well done by John Seward there. It would look pretty bad if he didn't get affected, but he correctly estimated that he would go after Seward and was able to dodge out of the way. What did Van Helsing do? He punched. Okay. This is fine.
Alright. We gotta do one more round of combat. He could wolf form. He could have wolf form. He could bats to Plymouth if he wanted to.
I don't know if he really wants to bat to Plymouth, because he could get 300s there tomorrow with Mina.
That's true, it's a bad idea. Bats in place.
It's not a terrible idea, but I think it's not incredible either. It's kind of mid. It's fine. I kind of think he wants to go to Liverpool to layer it, honestly, and have the double encounter there. But what is Dracula trying to do in this fight? Is he trying to kill Seward?
And what does Van Helsing have? So he's got a rifle.
And a Garlic.
And a Garlic. What's the third thing? Fangs here?
I suspect Heavenly Host. Fangs to play to Heavenly Host? Ooh. Wait, is there a Holy Bullets left? I saw 2 were discarded. Oh.
Find out now.
All 3 are in the discard pile. Never mind. It's the hope is dead. Dream is dead. It's okay. Dracula still heals once off of that, although the rifle undoes it. Okay.
John Seward dies to a claws if he's not careful.
If he's not careful, he does have a rifle, but he's played it. Although he has the other items.
There's no pistols left. I don't think they're all in the discard.
Right, all 4 pistols. He could have a second rifle, because there's 4 of those as well, I believe, unless this is more fake news. There's 4. I think there's 4 rifles.
Get corrected by Scott Sword soon.
Yes, I know. I'm waiting for the boot to drop, but. What is Dracula? I'm trying to think about Dracula here. What is he trying to do? Does he just play... I think he's really scared of the Heavenly Host. Ooh. Yeah, okay, and this gets away before the damage. Wow. Yeah, I think that's, if you don't have Fangs and you think they're gonna play Heavenly Host, I think that's the best move to just get out of there, because you don't have to move. I don't believe it says choose. You don't have to do that thing.
You might just stay in place, right?
Although he might want his feedback, because if he bats, he gets his feedback. Okay, he does not bat. Very reasonable. Oh, he is batting onto Liverpool, which does not let him place an encounter there. Does not let him place an encounter there, but does give him his feedback.
And it's already rumored. Does that mean he can put a vampire? No, he can't.
He didn't get to place anything, but he has whatever he placed when he layered it. And he now has feedback in hand. Yeah, the hidden power of Escape is Bat. It moves you, it gives you whatever, like, it picks up the cards you last played, so you can get a wolf form back with it, you can get a feedback with it, another stake on Seward. Okay. What is in Manchester? What is about to mature? If it's a hoax, it's pretty bad. I mean, it's only 8 cards in the discard pile. That wouldn't be great. I think I would also be afraid of a mob here, but we've already seen one mob. It's unlikely he drew the second one.
I think it's a bats. Wolves could be bad, but not really. They would just take 2 damage each.
It would mean they would be less likely able to go after him tomorrow, but I don't know if they want to go after him tomorrow anyway. Soil is also good. He gets to heal up from that fight. That's kind of nice, because he's going to have to go to sea eventually. What does he he doesn't, now that oh, he's going to sea now. Okay, I like that, because what is he going to do? I don't think he really wants to move to Manchester, knowing that Mina has CG in hand. Even though, you know, it's not going to be a perfect CG, they could, like, make him move to, let's say, I don't know, they could make him move to 32. It would be pretty, or 33. Like, they could set up to have him move into them, which would be pretty bad. So, I can see him leaving here. That makes sense. Now they have to deal with England. Or chase after him.
Do you let Edinburgh mature? Is that a vampire, you think?
I don't know if it's a vampire. I do think that you want to stop it if possible, especially since you can maybe just rail there. It might not need some, like, crazy shenanigans to do it. You might just be able to, like, rail there if you have a good ticket. It's unlikely they do, because they've been healing and searching. They haven't been ticketing lately. So it's possible John Seward's last ticket is a white one, in which case he can't really get there. Right? He can't really get to 30. He can't get to Edinburgh. Van Helsing maybe could get there. I mean, his tickets might be better, actually. He hasn't really been using them. He could maybe get to 19 today. I think you want to deal with it if possible, but if you can't, you can't. You know, there's no use crying over spilled milk.
One.
Looks like he did have the ticket, though. Yes, okay. The hide is rough. What is the hide card? Go ahead.
I don't know. Could be. He might have a forewarned, I was going to say.
That might be the argument to leave it, because you don't want to deal with the hide card.
I'm more confused why Godalming moved to 9 instead of 8.
He's worried about him going to Germany, I suppose.
That's a long though. It's Irish Sea, North Atlantic. It's got a few turns for that to happen.
True, but if he moves 3 sea spaces and wants to go to mainland, I guess South Atlantic is kind of nicer than Germany, because Germany is really susceptible to the CG, although I guess Spain is too. But at least in Spain, you could go to sea relatively quickly. If you wolf farm in from North Sea to Germany, you're landlocked for a while. I think the earliest you can get to sea is going to Venice via 33, 41, 38, 57, unless you cut back into France to go to the English Channel, which would also be 4 moves from Hamburg, although I suppose you could do it from Amsterdam. Great city, by the way. It's always Amsterdam.
Yeah, if he searches the bats, it'll send. There's no lair in Manchester. I think it's a bats, because we saw it in the hand.
You think it's a bats in Edinburgh?
Yeah, on the hide.
Well, he doesn't have a lair in Manchester, right? Because he matured the effect. So
correct.
We can't bat him into a lair, but still delay him. It's interesting that he didn't ambush. I guess he assumes that he's going to search, and he wants the nighttime effect if one of these is a vampire. Like, the night fight is so much better than the day fight. Mob. Ooh, you wish that mob had been... Okay, that's still 3 damage, and it's a vampire.
It is an Astro Vamp.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think you're glad you dealt with that, though.
Yeah, no kidding.
If that matures, you get Wolfhorn back earlier, Swansea's off... I mean, I think there's a lot of bad things that happen. If that
yeah, very bad.
Well done.
Does she search now or tomorrow?
I'd be tempted to search now, depending on what she has, just because I want to leave as soon as possible.
Reckless.
Okay. That's risky. She has a knife, so she's somewhat defended. You know, she's been supplying for a while. She probably has good items. But I mean, we've seen these reckless fights at night go bad before.
Does she have a horse? She hasn't used a horse.
We have not seen a horse. She's been moving on the rail the whole time. It's possible she has a horse. Was garlic.
That'll do 2.
2. Yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag. Dracula's glad to do 4 damage to Amina, but the reckless being at 2 health means he dies to a lot more. Like, he'll die to the knife now if the knife comes down.
Let's die to garlic again.
Yeah, look, garlic, I don't like it very much, but this game is showcasing how it has some amount of, you know, stopping power at least. I like guaranteed damage. Although I don't find myself playing guns that much these days. I feel like the guns, I'm always scared of the strength, so maybe garlic is the sweet spot where you play the garlic, and then it blocks strength.
I think Drac wants to kill Mina here to get the consecrated ground.
Oh, obviously. Killing Mina here would be the ideal situation, right? Especially since the knife fight, 1 bite would kill her. The garlic knife combo makes that near impossible, but, like, you could still claw her to very low health. The question is, when do you plot? If you think she's just
plot here.
Dodge garlic, do you plot?
Oh.
Ooh.
That's bad.
Okay. It's not great for Mina. She's really glad she didn't play the knife there, though. That would have been awful if she lost the knife this early in the fight, in round 2. But now the risk of the vampire is if you plot, does Mia just run?
Dodge here.
I'd play a claws if I had it. Okay, plotting. Rifle.
That'll kill it.
Yeah,
the vampire's dead, yeah.
Okay.
No mesmerize.
So she has rifle, garlic, knife. So we know all of her items. She does not have a horse.
Yeah, she came to town. Came to town on a no horse. Doesn't need a horse.
I mean, it served her well there. I think that rifle was really good. Dracula wasn't expecting the vampire to get attacked for that much damage there.
Yeah, and now you have one more layer to clear. And now he's in North Atlantic.
So, I've heard people talking about if you're playing against someone like WcKaczek or Spencer who likes the layer strategy, you should then go and clear out the layers.
Yep.
I don't know if I agree to that line of thinking. I feel like the problem with is that if you clear out the layer, the Dracula can just choose not to go there, and then you've wasted time when Dracula doesn't go there.
Yeah, let's go ahead of Drac.
Right, but let's say Dracula's at C, and he sees you clearing his layers while he's at C. Now he can just choose a different course of action, and he loses very little for you having cleared out that layer. I mean, he loses, like, let's say you put a vampire there and you kill the vampire. He no longer has that vampire counter card to play in his trail, which is good, but you also spent the resources to kill the vampire. So he's, in a way, he's getting time from you doing that. I do think maybe there's an argument that, like, in a very specific situation where you know Dracula's on land and he's going to move to a layer next turn, get on top of the layer, kind of do what Van Helsing did there and stop him from getting to play his double encounter. That makes a lot of sense to me. But just when he's, like, at sea or something, going and clearing out layers feels a little bit like a time waster to me.
Yeah. Mina did not get more items, by the way. She just picked up a dog and dropped it.
Oh. Good to know. Yeah, Dex reshuffled, so the horse is back in play. The hunters are glad to see that. Maybe they can get it in time for, you know, them to catch him on land. It's kind of nice for them that he left by Irish Sea, because it does give them a little bit more time to
figure it out.
To figure it out, right? If he left by English Channel, he could be at... I guess it's not really much faster. He can get to North Atlantic in the same amount of days. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Irish Sea is fine. There's nothing different from going from Irish Sea or North Sea or English Channel.
Van Helsing's trading with Godalming. Wonder what he's doing.
Godalming's been supplying, hasn't he? Maybe he drew a character-specific event or something.
Right, Mina's going to be healing with Stewart for a while. I think that makes sense, supply, but now Drac should land. Maybe go to 47, do a wolf form.
Yeah, we'll form into 47, 15, 54. There's only one person on the mainland. I think Dracula is pretty happy. I mean, he didn't kill anyone, but also he just landed.
Yeah, and that's dangerous. You know he's consecrated ground.
There's a CG. So it's either 39, 8, or 23.
It's 8. 8's the safest place. Because 8's going to 5 places. Yeah, 8.
But he has he can't use surprising returns to search key spots. Like, I think if I was the hunters, I would play a surprising turn and search 8 right now, just so I would know. Or maybe you just move Godalming there. Although I don't know if you want the 1v1. That could be pretty risky. Because, I mean, if you're going to CG, you got to CG today. Although I think you're right. Him moving to 23 would be really bad. Knowing that they have CG, WcKaczek definitely saw that. He's an experienced Dracula player.
Yep. Here he goes, there's 8.
Checking out 8.
Probably with the forewarned. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
It's a
With
spy.
a spy. Ooh, I think spy's pretty good, actually.
Money trail.
He does have money trail. It's nice that we don't have to skip through this after 3 seconds now.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. But, I mean, he is well suited to fight Dracula. He has Heavenly Host plus Knife, and he did pick up a horse somewhere along the way. He must have gotten the,
Yep, and he can trade with Van Helsing if Van Helsing has more stuff to give him. Let me see. Van Helsing, does he have any? He has 2 items, or 2.
2 events.
Yeah, 2
Although
events.
they did trade yesterday. I wonder if that was to give him the money trail so that Godalming would have it. That would make a lot of sense to me. But I kind of like this Dracula position. They dealt with England, sure, but they still have 1 rumor token to counter to deal with. 3 of them are now on England, and he's now on the mainland, so he can now start building a trail over there relatively safely because there's only 100 that can get him. Like, sure, he didn't kill anyone. England could have gone better, but he did draw 3 of them there, and now he's on the mainland, and 3 of them are on England. And if Mina goes to C, she can't play CG.
Right, I don't think you would want to play CG here.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you want to force him to 39 or something. Go.
Yeah, I think maybe there's some argument to maybe putting a permanent token in 15, trying to force him to either stay in 8, although then he can just feed, and then he moves south into Spain. You're right, the CG's not great. Although, looks like maybe he wants it.
Garlic and nothing. Alright, well, you know it's going to be a straight combat here.
Yep. Dracula knows everything that's going on in his hand.
Even.
What do you do here? Do you Fang? Or do you, like...
Play Heavenly Host. I think you play Heavenly Host and then get out of the combat so you're not bitten. Or not mesmerized, I don't know.
I'm trying to think of what Dracula does here.
I think he strengths. Expecting the knife.
I think the Hunter player is kind of, like you said, I think Heavenly Host feels pretty good for the Hunter player here because either they deal 4 damage or the combat ends. Oh.
I don't agree with that. Well, that's good for Dracula.
Well, if you played Heavenly Host, it's a lot worse. But Dracula does heal 2 HP off of this fight, which isn't great for the Hunters. Alternatively, he didn't escape his bat. Godalming did not get...
Oh, he's getting his wolf form back, too.
Oh, yeah, he does have it back, doesn't he? Oh,
yep.
He will get back today, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. You could play, you could put all the tokens down on the places he could move. 47, 54, 15, and 39, and leave, 8 open.
You have all the CGs, though?
If you have...
discarded, right?
If you have it...
drawn it.
If you have a Heavenly Host, yeah, we'll see.
Mina could have drawn it today, theoretically, because she didn't have one before, and she did supply with the new reshuffled deck, so it's possible she drew the last one.
She didn't, though, because otherwise you'd see one of her items in the discard pile.
She discarded garlic, didn't she?
She did, but she didn't have garlic, did she?
Yeah, she did. She had garlic, knife, rifle. We saw it in the fight. Oh, okay.
15?
Well, it's getting fired. It's getting fired off. I think 15 makes a lot of sense. Maybe 47 maybe, if you just don't want to be able to go back to a port next turn that he can leave from. But 15 makes a lot of sense. 15, 47, something like that.
Because you can't wolf form over a CG.
No, you can't do anything through CG, I believe. If you could wolf form over CG, that would be kind of crazy. I suppose CG is already kind of overpowered. Maybe you should be able to wolf. I think no, you need to not be able to wolf form through it, otherwise it kind of breaks the card. Or it makes the card a lot worse. So I don't think you can wolf form through it. Can't and shouldn't.
Oh, I disagree. Fangs is wrong.
50 in 8. Okay. Well, now, I suppose that means he can't go back to, like, if, I don't know, he can't go back to Bordeaux, so that does make, like, going in and out of space.
Oh, he's got all of them.
Goes to 54 now. He must have drawn it on Mina with that supply and discarded the garlic. Wow, okay.
That'll force him to 39 or 29. And if he has a renewed vigor, he can get a 2v1 here.
True. It's not terrible. He could wolf form to Paris, or he could move to, I think, if you move to 39, you can then wolf form to Marseille tomorrow. Because you can't wolf form through this permanent one. You could wolf form through 15, or you could wolf form to 9. The question is, do you wolf form today or tomorrow? An interesting choice here.
I would have blocked him in and just have one-on-ones with Godalming.
I don't know if the 1v1 favors him. Like, he has heavily hosted knife, sure, but Dracula's eventually just gonna escape his path. And then from 8, he could go all the way to 39, he could go all the way to 34, 31. The escape his path would be really bad. I don't know if I want to give Dracula more chance to do that, especially when I only have one item that cancels it, which is knife. And as soon as the heavenly host is used one way or the other, then he'll just have a knife, and that'll be it. There's a lot of room for error there in the 1v1 combats, especially with Dracula being at like 13 HP. You're not really gonna... He's not that scared of trading health with you.
I think Drac moves to 39 and puts the fog down if he has it, because he knows that Godalming does not have forewarned.
Because he has no events? How do we know he doesn't have forewarned?
Because he did the spy.
Oh, you're right, because of spy!
Yeah.
Oh! Value of the spy proving itself off here, yeah.
Right, Money Trail and Long Night.
Correct. WcKaczek put it in chat, so we see it for sure. We remember. Yeah, I mean, if you move to 39, you have a fog. That kind of buys you safety. It bogs down Godalming for sure, and then if you wolf form after that, John Sui's the only one who can immediately chase after you.
He could have used Long Night and then use it to move to 39. He did 39, that's what he did. We know.
I don't know if you want to move to it during the night, because then he can ambush you if it's a vampire at night and you can't fight him before he leaves. There's a lot of risk there. The issue here, I think, for the Hunters is they've used 2 of their 3 best cards. They've used 1 Renewed Vigor and they've used 1 Consecrated Ground. And Dracula's still at 13 HP and not about to get... Like, he's not in a do-or-die situation right now. He's still kind of okay. Like, he might have a 1v1 today, but that's the worst it's going to be. Why would you roll horse there? Did you want to move to 29? He's blocking off 15, so Dracula can't go to 15 without moving into Van Helsing, or without moving into Godalming. That makes sense. Why would you horse? Did you want to block Paris? But then he just moves to 15. I'm confused.
Should have just done regular movement.
Blazin is not happy about the double Y1. He's looking at the 12 tickets in the deck and saying there was 1 Y1 out of 12 tickets. I'm curious to see where he wanted to move with 2 spaces. It must have been Paris.
Oh, I gotta play the sound horn. I almost forgot. There's a dead horse, isn't there?
So there's a double dead horse this game. A Mystic Research for 500 events is pretty nice.
Alright, let's do...
Emmanuel Hildesheim is the one that got discarded. You are happy to see that gone.
Yep.
But Mina is still not moving.
We'll make a night supply. The problem is, people aren't going to be supplying items.
Well, Dracula can just wolf form away. Like, the blocking plan is fine when he doesn't have wolf form. When he does have wolf form, you can just wolf form tomorrow and get all the way to 9, to 51, to 24, to 36, to 54. There's a lot of options with this wolf form, and there's only 2 hunters on mainland right now. And it looks like the other 2 are chilling in England. Probably because they're afraid he's going to go back to England, which is kind of valid, but it does mean that he's getting more kind of free reign of the mainland. And they've lost their consecrated ground. Now, he could probably, like you said, go to Ireland or any of the other kind of extremities now with no fear of CG anymore. It looks like England really did delay the hunters because, I mean, they spent so much time dealing with it, and they're coming back now, but it's meaning that these CGs that are coming down is less affected because they don't have the hunters on, they don't have the boots on the ground to deal with it.
You need an excellent weather. Badly. These hunters. Yep. Oh,
we haven't seen any excellent actually.
She got rid of Heavenly Host. Maybe she drew a horse.
Maybe. I mean, especially now that with CG played, you're less incentivized to hold on to them. I mean, they're still a great card, obviously, but if you have to discard it for a horse...
What is in Liverpool?
We don't know. It was whatever he layered there at the time.
Is that
It could be
rumored?
Vampire.
Is that rumored glitch? Is it supposed to be there, or is that gonna?
No, it's accurate. He put a rumor token there when he originally moved, and as it stands, the rules stand right now, if you layer a place that had a rumor token on it, it keeps its rumor token. So if you goes back on the trail, it still has it.
Ooh. I think you gotta take care of it today.
Yeah, maybe that's why he's taking people on England. He's supplying for a stake, maybe, to deal with it. That would make sense. This has been really astute Dracula play by WcKaczek. He stayed in England long enough to draw 3 of them there, or 2 of them because Van Helsing was always there, and then left. Enough stuff that they've had to sit and deal with it, and now he's on the mainland. He didn't even wolf for him, moved to 32, or 42, sorry. Moved to Paris. Maybe because, like you said, he knows Godalming doesn't have forewarned, so if he fogs Paris, they can't really do anything about it.
Renewed vigor.
Is Renewed Vigor even that good here? I mean, okay, Renewed Vigor is always good. If you have Renewed Vigor, do you want to play it right here? What does it get you?
And Speedy Telegraph, maybe.
An extra supply on Godalming in Paris, so you could have a 3rd item. But yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of good items this could be, right? It could be a Speedy Telegraph to see what's in Liverpool and do that before you or if you want to supply with them maybe before you move in on the hopes of drawing like the Agatha or whatever. There's reasons to maybe want to go in a different order here, although I don't think they're going to supply today. I think you're right, they have to go deal with Liverpool.
There it is, Renewed Vigor.
Okay.
And Speedy Telegraph.
The good combination, as Met King says, the biggest guns. 8 actions in any order the hunters want them. The problem is only 2 of them can get to Paris unless Mina has an excellent weather right now. That's the real problem. Does she have an excellent weather?
And now you have if Seward has a horse, you have him go first to guarantee. Van Helsing is trading with Seward to start. You're giving him a forewarned, do you think?
The problem with giving John Seward the forewarned is that if you move Godalming in first, Dracula fogs, because he knows he doesn't have forewarned. If you move John Seward in first, who might have the forewarned, he can just choose not to fog, and then make sure that no one else can come in, because if anyone else comes in, he'll fog it on them. So it's really only going to get... The new fog forewarned kind of standoff makes moving the person with forewarned in first not quite as good. I mean, it guarantees you'll get a one-on-one, but it does not guarantee you that you'll be able to get everyone else in.
He's taking care of it.
I mean, that's good. I think if that matures, it's real bad. He gets his C spaces back that much sooner. It also obviously would be 6 or 7 points, which I think hunters are going to need all the time they have left to catch him at this point, because they've used all... Oh, did he hide? He did hide. Ooh. I didn't even think about that. But
Yep.
It protects it from her token. Now, if they move in, it's 2 encounters.
What if it's double fog?
I don't know if you even need to. I think 1 fog is enough. Because you want to... I mean, double fog would guarantee his safety, sure. But if you have 1, you can still make it so it's only a one-on-one, right? Because if you know Godalming doesn't have it, Godalming can never join the fight because you'll fog him. So it makes it essentially
What?
a 1v1 with only 1. He's blocking Paris.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, because he doesn't want to move Paris, obviously. That kind of means you have to leave Godalming in 15. The problem with the blocking strategy right now is that Dracula has wolf form. So he can just wolf form through this. If he didn't have wolf form, this would be a lot scarier for Dracula because the hunters can kind of force him to move the way they want to. But he does have wolf form. Also, English Channel isn't on the trail. He could just go to Le Havre and maybe, go to the English Channel if he really had to. It also means Godalming, if he's staying in 15, cannot get an item. So he's going to be down an item, and he discarded a horse again right after that reshuffled, so he's probably not going to have good movement. There's a couple problems here. Mina also just discarded a horse. Mina just discarded a horse.
Why?
What? Does she have excellent weather? Is she excellent weathering on the 29 right now? That's the only way this makes any sort of sense. Because then you're discarding the horse to make her hand as good as it possibly can because you're betting it all they're going to kill Dracula tomorrow, and you don't need good item.
Where's she going?
She going to 32 to help take care of that? Yes. Yes, she is. I am very confused. She kept a rifle over a horse. I don't understand. I guess she's going to be at sea soon, so the horse doesn't actually help her with sea movement, but she's going to have to land eventually. And that's, the horse is very good. I guess maybe Blazon is done with the horses. They failed him twice. He's just throwing them away now. Oh, that's ironic. Yeah.
Helpful.
Yeah, very helpful. But I mean, what is Godalming going to do? He's going to rest with his other day action? Like, he can't move. If he moves, he just goes to 15, and all of this effort is for nothing. Yeah, okay.
It's very sad renewed vigor.
It is. And now there's no renewed vigor. There's no renewed vigor. There's no CG. Dracula has semi-free reign to do pretty much whatever he wants. I mean, obviously, Dracula's been killed without the use of those cards before, but it means he can stay longer in places. He can kind of map out how many people are going to be able to get onto him, because, without renewed vigor, it's fairly easy to be like, okay, the maximum they can go is either 4 by rail, 3 by road, or 2 by sea. And I know that this many hunters can get to me. There's a lot of big cards used by the hunters there for a kind of still stalemated situation. And I think a stalemate favors Dracula, because time passing, he is winning slowly.
Yep. And now he can wolf form and move.
Yeah, I mean, that's why the blocking strategy isn't great here, because he can just wolf form through it, and then you've been spending your time on these spaces, getting suboptimal supplies with Godalming, and moving with John Seward, and not supplying. I guess you've been supplying because you also had renewed vigor, but it's. I don't know if blocking is a very profitable strategy when wolf form is still in Dracula's hand.
Yeah,
I think it's only good when he doesn't have it.
And if you dark call and then you feed, then you get this. You can go back to sea again because the sea space will clear.
I mean, yeah, he could just feed and be back in 15. And are they gonna go? They've made it clear they're not interested in jumping on him. And are they just gonna, like, what is Godalming gonna do? I guess he's gonna supply and draw an event card, but Godalming desperately wants to get another item card, I would imagine. I guess he still has Knife and Heavenly Host, so he's not, like, defenseless, but that's the last night supply. That's safe. They're all gone now. Mystic Research burned. Mina does have Heroic Leap, and it was just a Rats on Liverpool. Wow. So much effort. A sense of emergency burned, a renewed vigor used, all on a single rat encounter. That is, I think, really disheartening as the hunters.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. God, he's had so many resources going over to 32 on the assumption that he was really scared of the vampire, which I think I am too in his situation. Dracula already has so much. Giving him points is the last thing you want.
Mina has Heroic Leap too.
Yeah, she has Heroic Leap. She's at 1, so not a while before she can use it, especially if she's going to be sea traveling, because you can't heal while you're at sea. I think, do you just move to 29 here? Or do you heal? What's going on? What are we thinking?
Yeah, I don't know. Go to stream.
I feel like he's gonna move to 29. I just think he wants to get more encounters. Oh, or he's wolf forming.
Wolf forming.
Okay, so
all right.
farthest he could be is 54, 36, 24, 51, 9.
And he could be at Marseille. Could be risky though.
Well, how risky is it really? I mean, I guess Godalming, now that he's done this, I think moving Godalming to Marseille makes a lot of sense, because it checks it, and also he can just sit there and supply for a day and kind of be centrally located. My gut says he will form to Strasbourg. I think he wants to make some distance between the other hunters that are in England and just start moving on land, and Strasbourg gives him lots of options. So even if they find him on Strasbourg, he could move one time and be in 6 different locations.
Yeah, Mina has a Heroic Leap, by the way.
Yeah, but she can't use it for a while, right? No. She's at 1 HP, so she's kind of low. But maybe it means the hunters have it, right? So Van Helsing could maybe trade it away from her and put it on someone else.
No, I disagree with that move. Does he go to 51?
I would really like.
Reckless.
Oh, we found him. He did go to Strasbourg.
Yep.
And it was a reckless, yeah.
Garlic wreath.
Garlic wreath.
I'd say that for Drac.
Wow. I mean, he's gonna prevent points here, but the garlic wreath. Wow.
Now you just escape.
Yeah, you just leave. This vampire's gonna deal. He's gonna claw you probably, and you just leave and you're fine. Mesmerize. Okay. Yeah. With the garlic wreath, you know, for all the fun we make of that card, it is gonna mean Dracula's probably not getting points off this vampire, unless of course he plays a claws first, because the card was too good before it was counterable. So now we need to make it counterable by having claws.
Yep. Just dodge.
Yeah. Plotting.
Ooh,
into
punch.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like plotting as a vampire there, because even if you take the punch, you're not really in kill range because of the mesmerize, so the worst case isn't that bad. So I kind of like the plot there. Mesmerize again, escape again.
Alright, well, mesmerizes are gone. Nice hand by WcKaczek, though.
Yeah, I'm feeling Heatwave 2, my king. It was 91 yesterday. I tried to go out for a run. Barely lasted 25 minutes.
Yep. I have AC on. Yep. Strength and dodge.
Yeah, I don't think you think the vampire is less incentivized to plot this late into the combat, so you dodge as hunters because he's more likely to play an attack card.
Yep. Now you escape.
I mean, but if the vampire dies, this is a live vampire. It could get points. Like Jaro's saying in chat that he could still fang for the point if he wanted to and lose the vampire. I don't know if this vampire's life is worth 1 point. Maybe it is, because you think he's going to deal with it anyway, but I think that at this point, the hunters have to chase Dracula, and anything else on the... Ooh, strengthened rifles are good for that. Does he have a holy bullets? Why would he play rifle there? Maybe he thought there was going to be a clause?
Yeah. Well, now you just dodge, you're good. No one's doing anything this combat. You got 2 damage, no points.
Yeah. Well, the garlic wreath prevented a fang unless he wanted to kill the vampire to do it. Roscoe also in chat, by the way. I'm very wired for sure. He's saying the gameplay's balanced. I kind of agree. There isn't a huge advantage for hunters or Dracula on the board, but hunters have used their 3 best event cards to get to this point. I feel like it's hard for them from here against this good of a Dracula player to kind of catch him in a trap, because they've used their 3 best cards to do that already. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, Dracula doesn't have any onboard advantage right now, but he has time, and he's at, what, 13 HP? Is it 12 HP?
12, yep.
And only 2 hunters can really chase him, and they don't have any Rubriggers or CGs anymore. And I feel like that's a pretty nice spot to be in as Dracula.
Yep. You want to use that as a killing blow.
Yeah.
I would have supplied.
I think you desperately need health on Mina. Like, her at 1 HP, she's not useful for anything. And when you're gonna have to go to C eventually, which means her healing will be even more delayed. I can see healing her there, because what are you supplying for anymore? The 3 best cards are already gone. I mean, obviously you can get other good things, but the upside of supplying is less now than it was before if you're going for those 3 cards.
They should have had saved the garlic wreath for this fight.
Yeah, you don't want Dracula to heal here for sure. That would be pretty rough. I do kind of see the point of playing it against the Reckless to avoid points, but plotting. Knife. Ooh.
Gets what he wants. Yeah. Dangerous for Seward or for
For both. Dracula is taking 3 damage up front, but he is getting whatever card he wants, and he can now cancel a basic card. Seward does have 3 items, I believe, and we know one of them is knife. He's played a horse, right? Has he horsed?
I think no, he walked.
He walked. So, I mean, if he had a horse, he probably wouldn't use it because there's no reason to if you're trying to check Strasbourg. But, I mean, there's a chance he has 3 combat items here, so maybe the plotting isn't so bad, but that plotting sets Dracula up kind of well against what Seward does next. Because now I feel like as Seward, you kind of want to burn the plotting. Like, I would be tempted to play Escape just to make him burn the plotting if he wants me to stay in the fight. Because I think playing under a plotting is really scary.
Play Heavenly Host here.
Because then either the combat ends or... Oh, Dracula thinking along similar lines. Okay. So this is where the Fangs would be nice, right? Because you would then... Or the Garlic Booth would be nice. Although, the fact that he gets countered by Claws means that maybe Dracula would just play a Claws... Although you have a rifle, so it counters that. Maybe you do save it for this fight. Maybe. Although maybe then he gets points off the Reckless because you don't have it in play there. It's everything's a give and take, but I do think that maybe it's less straightforward than I thought.
Heavenly Host. Can't leave yet.
Yeah, we've got... Yeah.
And if he bats away, it's going to be almost impossible to catch him.
He only, I believe, still has... Oh no, the bat is off the trail. If the bat from Liverpool... If Liverpool was still on the trail, there would have been a bat thing there, which meant he would have had one less card in his combat hand, but that got off before this. Okay.
Let's see if he has... Let's see if he has a,
Holy Bullets?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think the Dream's dead. I don't think people carry it around. You know, even I don't carry it around.
I carry it around.
You carry... Okay, good. Someone's keeping the Dream alive.
Oh.
Okay. So maybe he thought Seward would dodge there, and he played the plotting because he thought he would dodge.
He has escape his bats, though.
True, he has two. I mean, now he has double plotting. He has double plotting. He can cancel 2 out of the next 3 cards if they're basic, which means he can probably like just start throwing out strengths. And if it's a basic card, he cancels it, and if it's not a basic card, he's breaking it with strength. Because he plotted twice. That's crazy that he has 2 plottings active right now. That's insane.
Heavenly Host.
Blah. I mean, yeah, Escape gets countered, but he has a second one, and now you're at 1 HP. I think you're right. I think if he has Heavenly Host, he's had to throw it down, because at this point, if you get Heavenly Hosted, you get fanged out of this fight, I think you're okay with it. Because it's better than Seward dying, which I think is what's about to happen.
Yep.
Although, because you're not escaping anymore. With 2 plottings, you're stuck. You're going to be here for all 3 rounds.
Did he not know that?
No escape anymore. Sorry, what was that?
Does he not know that? Is he forgetting the rules? Fangs of Fire? This is disappointing.
Maybe
play right now.
He thought he was going to play Strength, and then if he's going to cancel whatever basic card you play, you might as well play the one that's least useful to you, which is Escape. Because if he's going to play Strength, then no matter what, if you play it at a weapon, you lose it. If you play any of the cards, he'll cancel it. But we play Escape, I don't know. It's really hard. Playing as 102 plottings is really tough. I think you just kind of expect Dracula to throw down Strengths.
Does he have great strength?
He's plotted twice and he hasn't played any of them. I would be shocked if he didn't have at least.
No, I mean, does Seward have great strength?
Oh, you mean the event card? I'm
yeah.
thinking of. I mean, maybe they're not too. They're 36 left in the deck, so it's possible he hasn't drawn it.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna mute myself.
Mm-hmm. Wow. A dead Seward? That's incredible. Now Dracula only has 1 player on the board that can chase after him. And I believe, hold on, looking at the hospital routes here, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's gonna go to Budapest, right? Because that's 4, Madrid is 5. So he's gonna is he gonna go to Rome? 1, 2, 3. No, it's gonna be Budapest. It's gonna be in Budapest. Which means he's kind of blocking the East a little bit, but I mean, that's a pretty bad outcome there. That's pretty rough. Shows the power of plotting, right? Dracula had the HP to just kind of take a knife and a rifle to the chest, got 2 plottings off, leaving Seward in a position where he no longer really can win that fight. I don't know what to say. I'm trying to think right now as the hunter. What am I doing as the hunters? It's just there's a lot. There's a lot of problems with this position, right? Two of them are really far out of position. It's going to take them minimum of like 4 days to get back on the mainland, unless they are two, I suppose, three, because they can land in Bordeaux or not. But I mean, Dracula's getting placed 3 more trails down at that point. The only person who can go after him is Godalming. Godalming doesn't have a horse anymore. He has no movement items. Because he lost his horse, so he can only move 1 space at a time. Dracula just has free reign to do whatever he wants, pretty much, until Seward is back in action, which is going to be probably at least 2 to 3 days. So at least 2 to 3 days, assuming like most efficient draws. I think this is Dracula's game to lose. I feel like it's going to be very hard for him to lose here because they also have to stop Nantes. And they have to. I mean, maybe not Strasbourg will kind of be reasonable to stop if you can get somebody there. But they have to stop Nantes. They have to chase after him somehow. And they have 100 to do both those things with, because the other 2 are currently in England. Unless they have an extra weather, which they want to use to get to the mainland. Which you would hope they'd have. But then again, they haven't gone that deep in the deck. They still have 36 cards left. There's plenty of events they don't have. Speaking of which, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13. So there's still 12. There's 12 Dracula events. Wait, no. Did I count that right? That was 4, 7, 8. Vampire Lair is good. That will help them kind of keep some of the heat off at least. But again, I feel like Dracula just has inevitability at this point. It's going to be really hard for the hunters to catch him just with how the board is laid out. Like, Vampire Lair helps, but it doesn't solve your problem of Dracula being a million light years away on land and double rumor token.
Alright, I'm back. So I just saw I saw the Vampire Lair. But I saw that Seward died. I'm so confused why he would play a combat card, or a basic card, given that.
I really think he thought Dracula was going to play strength. I think that's what he assumed, because if Dracula plays strength and you play a weapon, you're just losing the weapon. If you play strength and you play any of the basic cards, your basic card gets canceled, but you don't lose the weapon, right? I think maybe that's the reasoning there. The issue was he clawed. And instead of strength, right? And against claws, obviously, you wish you played rifle. Easy to say in hindsight. I see why he played a not weapon though. I think John Seward is just kind of dead, almost no matter what happens there. Like, it's possible he lives, but it would be very, very hard.
Yeah, he did not have Heavenly Host either.
No, I don't think so.
No.
What did he discard? He discarded a knife. Oh yeah, he has stake. Oh no, he had a horse, didn't he?
Yep, he did have a horse.
Yeah, just didn't use it because of the bad horse. I mean, yeah, if you're gonna move 1 space, don't roll your horse, right? There's no need to.
How many horses were killed this game? This has been a very violent animal cruelty.
2 of them, and then Mina discarded.
Mina trashed one. Yeah. Jeez.
Man, those are the cards you want right now, truly, because they have a lot of distance to make up, and there's all 3 horses in the discard pot right now. They're not gonna see him for another 14 item cards.
Mina has an excellent weather now. Newspaper a report. That's all she has for an event. So her heroic leap is gone. She traded it off to someone.
I mean, Van Helsing, presumably. Oh, it's kind of nice.
That's a good timing for that.
41.
Brussels and Cologne.
41. Okay.
So Strasbourg. Maybe he's moving towards
60 or 41 seems likely to me.
Frankfurt. He could start moving back north to England if he wants to go back where it started.
Yeah. Could have gone to Paris and then go back to 29, maybe hoping to go back to England now that CG's gone. Because he has all those layers in England. He has a layer in London, layer in Liverpool, layer in Edinburgh. He could just go back to England if they all leave.
And there's no CG to worry about to trap him or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying this while you're gone. I really think that Dracula doesn't have a win on the board, but I think it is very much his game to lose now.
Yeah, this is over.
He's very heavily favored. Like, the hunters have chances, maybe, if for some reason, like, let's say he does go to England and they, like, have an excellent weather and they get on him and they play the combat extremely well. They have chances, but those chances are minimal. Because they don't have gas left in the tank, essentially. They don't have very bigger to get onto him. They don't have CG to trap him. They're just kind of... They're impotent to go after him, and they don't have the movement to kind of check all of the spaces they want to check. It's just... It's really tough. It's tough to be the hunters right now. I mean, Dracula's just gonna win on time. He doesn't even need these the vampires are gravy. If not matures, he'll win quicker, sure. But if it doesn't, he can just keep moving. I mean, nobody's threatening him right now. They have no idea where he is. He could be in Italy. He could have gone back into France.
Did not go to Paris.
Okay, he could have gone 24-15, I suppose. But at least he didn't go back to Paris. That's nice to know.
Mina can die here too.
Yeah.
Let's say it's a double bodyguards.
True, we haven't seen any bodyguards. We have seen, I believe, 2 recklesses. We've seen both new vampires. So there could be a reckless under there. But I don't believe he's gone through the whole deck and reshuffled it because he only has 2 left. So probably not vampires, but it could be like double bodyguard. You're right, and that would kill her. Because there is no great strength, and even if there was, it wouldn't matter because it only works on combat.
Where the hell is she going?
She's going to North Sea.
Going to Germany.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're letting not mature then. Okay.
Well, that gets that gives Drac his wolf form back.
Maybe they think he's bluffing, and it's not actually a vampire.
There's been so many vampires already.
Because when he moved to Nantes, he probably wanted to like protect himself. He was like he wasn't super vulnerable, but he probably didn't play like an aristocratic vampire. That seems a little bit apathetic. So I suppose it could be the last reckless, or it could just be like a damaging encounter, and he put the rumor token there after the fact to kind of try to get them to spend more time going after rather than going after him.
Like maybe it's a mob.
No mob. We've seen both. I believe. Okay. This could be incorrect piece of wizard facts here. I believe there's only 2 mobs in the deck. And we've seen both of them. Yep. I think.
2 mobs haven't played.
I don't know if there's only 2 in the deck, though. But I think there is only 2. Scotsword isn't here anymore to call me out, so definitely only 2 mobs in the deck.
Yeah, Scotsword is playing Stardew Valley now.
He's playing Stardew Valley, yeah. You know what? I'm not a huge farming simulator guy. That game is actually kind of good, though. I would recommend. It's kind of nice. It's cute animation style, really. But, you know, that's not here nor there. There's not going to be room for games like Stardew Valley after Dracula wins. Just going to take it over. It's all going to be gothic horror.
Let's see. So we know it's not Cologne or Brussels.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's not Paris.
It's 60. I think 60.
Then he went down into Italy?
Yeah. Or Spain. I think he just wants to get away from the hunters. I feel like it's unnecessarily risky to go back towards Mina and Van Helsing. You have no need to go back towards them. Like, you should just make distance. And I don't know whether that means you're going to Italy, or whether you're maybe going into East, like you went 60 to go to 38. But as Dracula here, you don't need to do anything fancy. You just move away from the hunters. They do not have the room to catch up to you anymore. They don't have the cards to catch up to you. So you can just stall out the clock. And then if they're going to spend their time chasing you, you're probably going to get points off all the other stuff maturing. There's probably a hoax somewhere in here, I imagine.
Maybe this is a fog. Is it going to put it on 51?
Ooh. Or put it on 51, or put it... It was a fog, you're right. Yeah, make it so that they can't deal with 51 now, so that's a guaranteed 7 points. Yeah. Right on, Strider.
Yep.
So now... Right, he just wins in, what is it? Today's Thursday. He's already moved the trail for today, so Friday it's going to go there.
And then he goes
Saturday,
to sea. Let's go to the ocean. Make for the ocean and you win.
But IDS, though.
Does he
need to go to sea?
Doesn't matter. What place is he in? What place is this team in? 5th or 6th?
It's in last, I think. But,
okay.
You know.
Oh, he's got Sir Backstab on this team.
Yeah, it's negative 79 IDS right now. I'm just saying, you know, I don't know if he needs to go to sea here. Maybe he wants the extra IDS, maybe? I don't know. It's what I would be thinking about if I were him. You know, if I think the game is all but in the bag. Like, is there any way I can just win it with a little more health? Because he doesn't need to go to sea. No, they have no idea where he is, right? Like, going to sea, you're right, is a guaranteed win. If you go to sea right now, you will win 100% of the time. If you don't go to sea, I still think you win like 99.8% of the time. And is that
Rufus
enough?
Smith. Munich.
Okay, so we went 60 or 41 and then went to 38.
And is he going to 57 to 20 right now? Is he in Florence? And then going to...
I think he's in 49. Or 53. I think he just wanted to make distance. Because if he's in either of those spots, nobody's getting to him except for John Seward. There isn't enough time, right?
But why put Seward... Why even give Seward a chance to catch him?
because Seward is the weakest of the three.
He's tooled up now, though.
Well, right, but he's drawn 4 random items.
Why
And
is
those, keep in mind, are the reshuffled deck of bad items. So the items I think are in there are worse than average because some of the good ones are being kept by hunters.
Yikes.
Like, and I think you're going to be close to kind of some... Like, if you go to Italy, you're still far, but it means that it only can get you easier via rail. But if you go east, that is bad.
Seward needed that.
Yeah, would have been nice on Seward.
Alright. Well, this could be it.
I mean, either way, if you went to Italy or you went to East, I think they're both fine options. I just think East is better, but I think that either works. Italy does mean that, you know, outside of, like, charge carrier shenanigans, you're probably safe.
He might be able to move in there. I thought that was going to automatically mature.
What was going to automatically mature?
Yeah.
Oh, right! I forgot that the trailer already slid that day, so he will have a chance to deal with Strasbourg. But, I mean, again, if he does, who's dealing with it? Is Godalming dealing with it? Because then nobody's hitching after Dracula, he's just going to win on time.
Oh, never mind. He can't take care of it. It's slid now. Okay.
Yeah, we were correct.
We were correct. Okay.
Yeah. We're very smart, the two of us.
Yeah, just got to catch it. Let's see. Super report. That's helpful. Why play it there? Why play it? Okay. I don't understand.
I mean, I think that maybe you want to be able to try to deal with that encounter before it matures. I think there's a lot that's going wrong for the hunters right now. It would take a lot to bring this game back, and I don't know if we're on that timeline right now. And I think Blazon didn't play horribly. I think he played fine. I just think that the England was I really think that's the key to why this is going so well, is England just drew so much attention, and then by the time he got there, Dracula was gone. So then he had 3 people in England, so Dracula kind of walk around, do kind of fairly obvious moves where Blazon was able to jump onto him, but it was fine because he couldn't get more than 1 or 2 hunters onto him.
Ooh, she needs like a chartered carriage.
Yeah, right. They still have the movement, right? If he's in the east, they can't get there in time. The movement doesn't exist. I mean, it does exist in the form of like sense of emergencies and stuff, but they don't have the sustained movement. Like if they need to move 6 spaces, excellent sense of emergency helps, but it's not everything. It's not over. If they could jump onto him and somehow get like a good 2-on-1, they could still kill him.
But if he goes to see it's over. Goes to see it's over.
If he goes to see it's over.
Yep.
The problem with going to see... Oh, no, Strasbourg is going to mature. Never mind. I thought for a second Strasbourg wasn't going to mature, and then in my mind, I thought that because it wouldn't mature, he couldn't go to see. But no, with Strasbourg going to mature, he could go to see. I don't think he has to, though. I really don't. It's the Saturday move today, Sunday move tomorrow. He still has a fog left that he's been sitting on. I think he's fine.
How much does he care about IDS? Like, what's their team's IDS?
How much does he care about IDS? That's the real important question. Their IDS is -79. It's very bad. I think I would be trying to dig out of my hole, you know, as much as I could. Like, and this feels like... I mean, yeah, look, he's speeding to get IDS. Look at that. Wow.
He's confident. They're not going to catch him.
I mean, I think that confidence isn't ill-placed here.
Let's see. 1. Venice. Munich, Venice. Maybe he's in... Why are you going to Munich for? Use the ticket to check 20.
I suppose Venice would be... Hold on, would it be off the trail? Because Strasbourg... Venice wouldn't even be on the trail. Yeah, so you should check 20 if you're trying to check if you went to Italy. But... I think the morality of the despair of the situation, the 2 despair tokens on the board might be getting to Fangs of Fire at this point. There's a lot of despair in this game for the hunters, I think.
Does she have a charter?
They had the cards. They had cards to get him, and it was just it didn't work out.
Oh, to Prague. That's a regular movement. Okay. So she went Munich. She didn't go to Prague, or would that be cleared? 1, 2. It would be cleared. Never mind. Yeah. Now he has no idea.
I mean, oh.
Okay.
But that doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a situation of night supply, it is now. I mean, I think you're screwed without something. I don't know what you need right now, but maybe the night supplies can draw you the hired scouts or something that you need to find him.
How many Drac cards are there? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I counted a while ago.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There's only 8 left.
Is that including the brides that just got drew?
No.
Okay. So then.
So 7.
7.
Night supply, might as well. Another one. The chances are
Yeah.
low. That's bad.
Well, I mean, I don't think you win the game unless you like get the information events right now and somehow move at the same time. So I think you need to be night supplying. I mean, I think you have a low chance in this game, but any chance is better than no chance, right? Play until that ending screen is on the board, right? Don't never give up. Truly, never give up. You can win.
And now you hide with you have 4 encounters blocking you. I think you just hide.
Mina found excellent weather with her night supply. Good
The irony.
Errol points out that he could go to Castle Dracula for even more points, maybe. Just get a little bit more, could get to max HP, get the maximum IDS win.
That's right.
I mean, right, because they have to kill him today, or he just moves and wins. There's no vampire lair. There's nothing that's gonna stop him.
He did go to Castle Drac.
He's gonna get a maximum IDS win right now. Like, who's gonna get him? John Seward can sense of emergency. Mina can sense of emergency, but Mina doesn't have sense of emergency, right? She doesn't have that many event cards, I don't think. Yeah, she only has excellent weather. So John Seward can get on him. No one else can. Well done, WcKaczek, at really getting the most out of your win here. Well done, sir. This is what you do. You know, sure, you could have guaranteed his win, but it's gonna be so much sweeter being a 15 HP win.
Uh-oh.
So much sweeter. Well,
Thanks if I had that game too. It's his game to lose. He's given up. He said GG, so.
I mean, I think in this situation, do you have sense of emergency on John Seward? If the answer to that question is no, the game's over. Even if you have it, you somehow have to kill him from 15 HP with one hunter who's on 7 HP. It seems a little bit far-fetched. I don't even know if that... I suppose it's physically possible if you have double knife and you knife him literally every round of the game and he never does anything to stop you.
I'm just curious how he got to the castle. I'm trying to figure out his route. Because Seward was checked 6.
Did he check 53?
4. I don't think so. I think he walked over it.
So then I would guess 53 is how he did it if he did
53, 28, yeah.
Because 49 isn't on the trail. It would have been this last space here if it was. So in order for him to be at the castle, I think he had to have gone through 53.
WcKaczek wants to know. I can't stay on after this. I have to go to mail my iPhone back that I got by accident from AT&T.
Oh.
So.
Well, yeah. Well, thanks for, recording it. I know it was kind of a short notice. I'm sure everybody appreciates being able to see,
hear the expert opinions. Yeah, this is from the new blood champion and the 2023 champion.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Yeah. Let's see the locations first.
Yep. 53, 28.
Yeah, he walked over 53. Wow. It could have been a different game.
Crazy. And he had the event cards, right? Like, hunters lose games because they just don't draw the good events. He did draw some of the good events.
Yeah. So if he landed 53, he could, if he did 3 damage to Drac, or more, then he could heroic leap him if he lands on him again, and win.
Yeah, before he feeds and goes to Castle Dracula. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's so rough to just, random blindly guess like that with Seward when he has very few items and events. It's rough.
How does that change the settings? How does that change the standings?
Roscoe is happy because WcKaczek's team is in last place, so him getting any amount of wins means that Wildlife, who was the closest to Wildlife, and his team Transatlantic Transylvanians were tied before this game. So if Blazoned won, they would have had been a win up. Or they're those two. I don't know if they would have been a win up because I don't know if Roscoe's team's played a game this week yet. But it would have meant that essentially they're the two closest. They're closest in the group right now. The two of them with 7-9 each at the end of last week. So a win by Blazoned would have put a lot of pressure on Roscoe and Snuff to get a win in their games this week.
Well, there you have it. Thanks for watching the game with me. I appreciate it. I'm
happy to be here.
It was
But yeah,
nice.
go mail that phone.
Yeah, I gotta mail it back in before I get screwed by AT&T. I hate them.
Don't let the companies get you. Good luck. Good
Yeah.
luck, sir.
All right.